Tonight, an issue over a law protecting survivors of domestic assault. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Murray.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft and Attorney General Josh Hawley are trying to intervene on a St. Louis County Circuit Court case. KOMU 8's Ben Burke tells us why.
The main issue surrounding the two parties surrounds the Safe at Home program, which protects survivors of domestic abuse by keeping their address private. Reporting in the newsroom, Ben Burke, KOMU 8 News.
A report released today highlights MU for its Civil Rights and Title IX office, along with its Green Dot program. KOMUH Justice Henderson is here in the studio with what the program directors had to say.
I met at Jesse Hall today with the assistant provost of the Title IX office and the head coordinator of the RSVP Center. In the last 2 years, Mizzou has made great efforts to increase its efforts to combat sexual violence. An AAU report today proved that the efforts have been effective. A new report shows that MU has been helping its students feel safer on campus. In the studio, Justice Henderson, KOMU 8 News.
Happening right now, an update on the body found in a Fulton storage unit Monday. The Fulton police chief tells us there are still no autopsy results.
Yesterday, we learned the body is likely that of 31-year-old Carl DeBrody. The Highway Patrol says it will do DNA testing of the remains. Fulton police followed more than 150 leads. They also say there's a chance DeBrody's remains were in the storage unit for months. Investigators hope to come up with a timeline. The 31-year-old was reported missing more than a week ago when he walked away from the Second Chance group home in Fulton.
A Columbia man has been charged with possession of child pornography. Police say 34-year-old James Patterson befriended an underage girl last year. He picked her up from school and drove her to a Columbia hotel, according to police. There, he took about 800 photographs, some partially nude. The girl was 16 years old at the time. Police say she believed she was taking her senior photos. An August execution date is set for a man convicted of the killing of a former St. Louis newspaper reporter back in 1998. Marcellus Williams was found guilty of first-degree murder. He broke into Alicia Gale's home and stabbed her. Williams was scheduled to be put to death in 2015, but the Missouri Supreme Court stayed the execution. He will be the state's second execution of 2017.
Lyft is the latest ride-sharing service to operate in Columbia. The popular ride-sharing app arrives after Governor Greitens signed ride-sharing regulations into law earlier this week. The Columbia Chamber of Commerce expects Lyft to create jobs and generate revenue for the city.
It's an opportunity to provide flexibility that's not already there for people to earn additional money, students, retired folks. So it's a good possibility for folks.
Dal says competition between Uber and Lyft will likely result in better service. He expects the chamber receiving job data from ride-sharing companies later this year.
Planned Parenthood, the NAACP, and 10 other groups rallied together this afternoon for a more moral Missouri. The coalition says the General Assembly has proposed bills which discriminate against women and minorities. Part of their concern is a bill in the Senate which would regulate where fetal tissue goes after a miscarriage or abortion. A Planned Parenthood rallier said it was a question of faith and choice.
As a woman of faith, I think people get to choose how to honor what happens to them.
Every other surgical procedure that we have, whether it's just a removal of a lesion or anything else from an individual patient, is sent in its entirety to the pathologist for examination. So this is no different.
The bill in question has passed the House and was read by the Senate for the first time on Tuesday. Minimum wage in St. Louis could go up to $10 an hour as early as next week. This after the Missouri Supreme Court says it will not reconsider its ruling that supports the increase. In February, business groups claimed setting a higher minimum wage would start regulatory confusion. The court ruled against the groups and now stands by that decision. It was a rainy one out there today. Let's check in with Kenton to see when the showers will stop. It's a sweeping tax reform plan that could mean change for every American family and business. Today, the White House released a major tax cut proposal promising it will create jobs and boost the economy. But as NBC's Blaine Alexander reports, some are skeptical of the promises the Trump administration is making.
Proudly dubbing it the biggest overhaul in history, today the White House unveiled a sweeping tax reform proposal. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
And on health care, some encouraging news for the president. Today, some conservative Republicans say because of changes, they can now get behind the plan. We could see a vote as early as Friday.
Also today in Washington, U.S. senators received an unusual briefing on the escalating tensions with North Korea. Unusual because the entire Senate was invited to the White House. It happened as U.S. troops began the installation of an anti-missile defense system in South Korea, a controversial move. This comes just after North Korea carried out another missile exercise this week.
An act of heroism, how 2 Mid-Missourians earned a Medal of Honor.
And Columbia taking out the trash if it can find a place to put the trash. Trash in Columbia is a growing problem, literally. KOMU 8's Abby Breidenbach attended a meeting today. The concern, too much trash and the need for a new place to put it. Abby, what's next?
The landfills in Columbia are so full, more than 400 million tons too full to be exact. So the city needs to dig a new cell for all our solid waste. This would be the 6th cell on the landfill footprint, which holds trash from Boone County and all of the surrounding counties. In the studio, Abby Breidenbach, KOMU 8 News.
One portion of a new federal education law is helping homeless students. Under the Every Student Succeeds Act, schools are required to provide transportation to homeless students for the entire school year, even if they find permanent housing during that time. Under the previous law, schools did not have to continue providing transportation to those students.
Capital Region Medical Center in Jefferson City hosted a child language development workshop today for parents and young kids. Speech pathologists taught parents about milestones in speech development. The month of May is Better Speech and Hearing Month.
So it's a month in which we celebrate speech language pathologists across the nation, but we also try to bring awareness to communication deficits in the population.
The presentation also showed parents how to improve their kids' speech at home.
Lincoln University students took a trip down memory lane. LU's first genealogy workshop showed students how to trace their ancestors with an online database. Students were also encouraged to learn more about their families by going through state archives. Academic library assistant Kimberly Keaton led the workshop and says searching through history can lead you anywhere.
I'm originally from Texas, so in moving to Missouri, I've actually found people, well, I would actually say one person that I am related to in the state of Missouri, which was a major shock to me, but you don't know where, you're going to find people.
Keaton also says many reliable genealogy websites and databases are free and easy to use. Still to come, 2 men risked their lives to save 2 more, how their selflessness is being rewarded.
And then we're back into the 60s for pretty much the rest of next week.
First day of May is Monday, right?
Yes.
It's only going to be 59 degrees in May.
We'll see if we get those May flowers. We already got quite a few of them here.
Yeah.
It's just going to feel like February.
Yeah.
All right.
It felt like May and February.
Thanks, Kenton.
A Fulton couple is still alive thanks to 2 bystanders, how their efforts are being recognized.
That's coming up, but first your lottery numbers. Good luck. This year, only 6 Americans have been awarded the Congressional Citizens Medal of Honor. 2 are Mid-Missourians. Adam Bronk and Jacob Ellis helped save the lives of 2 people whose car caught fire in Callaway County. Today, Bronk and Ellis stopped by KOMU to talk about the importance of acts like theirs.
Things like this really bring people together and really shows care and really shows the goodness of others' hearts.
You don't hear too many acts of valor or selfish acts. I think it'd be a big thing if more people did this. You wouldn't hear so many tragedies.
Even more impressive, at the time of the accident, Ellis was recovering from hand surgery and Bronk had a sprained ankle.
We have breaking news this evening as Columbia police are investigating a shooting on Greensboro Drive.
KOMU 8's Lauren Barnes is live at the scene with the latest details. Lauren, what do you have for us?
The Columbia Police Department was able to confirm with me just a few minutes ago that there is 1 victim in the hospital recovering from a gunshot wound here on Greensboro in North Columbia. They said that injury is non-life-threatening. Now, the police could not confirm how many other people were involved in this incident. They did say they found about 6 shell casings in the road and that a house was also hit in this incident. The police could not confirm whether there were people in the house when that shot was fired. Now, they said it is a male suspect, or a male victim rather, who is in the hospital, but they cannot say how many other people were involved. Everyone else appears to be safe. And the Columbia police have left already, and it is a quiet night here now. We'll send it back to you. Reporting live in Columbia, Lauren Barnes, KOMU 8 News.
Coming up on KOMU 8 News today, Columbia police are looking to build a stronger community.
Starting tomorrow, how officers plan to make connections with the public.
And as you can just see in that live shot, a lot of rain still going on out there. It's going to slowly, very slowly, push up towards the northeast here. Tonight should be out of here by about 4 a.m. And then we're seeing more sunshine tomorrow. 42 in the morning, 62 in the afternoon. And then we have more rain for early Friday morning between about midnight, 6 a.m., then dry for the rest of Friday, but mostly cloudy. Then quite a bit of rainfall expected still on Saturday and Sunday. Stay tuned with us the next couple days. We'll continue to track that system.